Next is thunderstorm and cyclone. Thunderstorm develop in hot, humid tropical area like India very frequently. The thunderstorms are developed in hot weathers, hot climate near the equators, tropical area like country like India very frequently mean often it seen. The rising temperature produce strong upward rising winds. Due to the rise in temperature, it causes the wind to rise above. These wind carry water droplets upwards, and this wind of this area rises up and carry water droplets with them where they freeze. In the upper part of the atmosphere, the water droplets get freeze and fall down again and fall down on earth. The swift movement of falling water droplets along with the rising air creating lightning and sound, and the quick movement of falling water drops along with rising air creating lightning and sound, and this and as the rainfall is there, it will be accompanied by lightning and sound. It is evident that we call thunderstorm, that we call it thunderstorm. You will read about lightning in higher class. In about lightning you will study next class. Next is, if a storm is accompanied by lightning, we must care of the following precautions. I mean, if the thunderstorm there is in if there is a storm accompanied by lightning, we have to take some precautions. First is, do not take shelter under an isolated tree. We do not have to take shelter under a isolated tree. If you are in a forest, take shelter under a small tree. If you are in a forest, you have to take shelter under a small tree. Do not lie on the ground. You do not have to lie on the ground. Do not take shelter under an umbrella with a metallic end. You do not take shelter under a umbrella which have metallic rods, mean metallic end. Do not sit near a window. Do take precaution. Do not sit near the window. Open garage, storage shed, metal sheds are not safe place to take shelter. You do not have to sit near the windows in the store sheds, metal sheds. These places are not safe to take shelter. A car, a bus is a safe place to take shelter. A car or bus is a safe place to take shelter. You can take shelter in a car or in a bus. If you are in a water, if you are in a water, get out and go inside a building. If you are in a water, you have to get out from there and take a shelter inside a building. How a thunderstorm become a cyclone? When a thunderstorm becomes cyclone, you know that water requires heat when it changes from liquid to vapor state. We already know that when the water changes into from the liquid to vapor state, it requires heat. On heating, water changes from liquid to vapor state. As we know that, does the water give back heat? When vapor condense into liquids, when the water vapors condense again into liquid that give heat, may release heat in the atmosphere. Can you recall any experience to support this? Have you any experience to support these arguments that when the water vapor condense into liquid that give but heat to back to the atmosphere? Before cloud formations, water takes up heat from the atmosphere to change into vapors. Before the cloud formations, waters take heat from the atmosphere to change into vapors. Mean water droplets take heat from the atmosphere and change into vapors. When the water vapors change back to liquid form as a drop raindrops, and when the water vapors change back into liquid to form as raindrops, then they form the raindrops. This heat is released to the atmosphere, and when this water vapor change into liquids, heat is released into the atmosphere. The heat released to the atmosphere warm the air around. When the heat is released to the atmosphere, we know that when the heat is more in a particular area, this area get warms, and air become light and create low pressure area there. The atmosphere warm the air around, then the atmosphere air, the air get warm around them, the air tend to rise. After that, air rise up and cause a drop in pressure, and this lead to drop in pressure. Mean in that area the air rises up, and there is a some time of vacuum is created there. I mean, there is low pressure area is created on the on that area. More air rushes to the center of the storm. Then after, to fill that space and low pressure area, more air rush to the center of the storm. This cycle is repeated again and again. The change of the event ends with the formation of a very low pressure system with a very high speed winds revolving around it. A chain of events. Then there is a chain of events take place with the formation of very low pressure system, and the very low pressure system is created with a very high speed wind is revolving around it, and the very high speed wind is revolving around the center. It is weather condition that we call a cyclone. This weather condition is called cyclone. Mean that in the center there is a low pressure area, and the high speed wind is revolving around that low pressure area. Factors like speed, wind direction, temperature, and humidity contribute to the development of cyclones. And the factors, the wind speed, wind directions, temperature, and humidity, these are contribute to the development of cyclones. This is how the cyclone is formed. A thunderstorms how converted into a cyclones due to the creation of low pressure area, and the wind from the other area rush in that place and revolve around the low pressure area and causes to form cyclone.